Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're having a closer look at the key output and input of the node as well as the key tab. So today I'm going to show you what you can do using this key input and output of the node. As you might remember, I'm talking about this blue triangle and this blue square. So let's create something interesting using these key outputs and inputs. I'm going to create a serial node and immediately I'm going to create a layer node by pressing first I pressed Alt S to create a serial node and then Alt L to create a layer node. This automatically created a layer node and a layer mixer. We are going to reduce the saturation of the bottom node, and also we're going to increase the contrast to it. The top node is going to be desaturated just a little bit. And now we are going to change the composite mode of the layer mixer. Composite mode, right click composite mode, and we're going to change it to overlay. This way we are going to get a pretty stylized image, which is kind of cool, but the only problem that we are having is the color of the skin. It is completely unnatural and ugly looking. If I were to create another layer node, it's not going to help because it is connected to the same layer mixer, thus using the same composite mode, which is overlay, which is not what I really want. So I'm going to disconnect the third node and I'm going to create another node after the layer mixer. And now I'm going to connect the key output of this node to the key input of the node number 6 that I just created. This way I'm receiving the original image from the node number 1, which is being fed to the node number 4, and all of that is being fed to the node number 6. Now we're going to pull a key from the node number 4. So let's key out his skin. We're not gonna do again a really good job because this is just a tutorial, and the objective of this tutorial is not how to achieve a clean key. It is about the key of the nodes and how you can use that to your advantage. So we've pulled a key like that. Nothing really changed because we need to go to the node number 6 and reduce the contrast just a little bit and increase the saturation, thus preserving or just making better the skin tones. This way we were able to create a stylized looking image and to preserve to some extent the color of the skin. So this was just to demonstrate that you can connect node keys separately without just connecting them to the whole pipeline, without connecting the RGB output. Let's have a look at the other example. Let's reset everything and let's do something again. Let's create a serial node and another serial node. Let's create just a moment, a serial node after the node number 2, but we're going, God damn it, but we're going to extract it by pressing E. I've extracted the node and now I'm going to connect something that it's not supposed to be connected by default. I'm going to connect this blue output, which is key output, to the RGB input of the node number 3. And I'm going to connect the RGB output to the key input of the node number 4. Why would I do that? Well, if I try to pull a key from the node number 2, let's have a look at that again. Let's make it narrower, and let's use some pre-filter. And again, we keying out not perfectly because we do not care at this particular moment. And now, just to show you what is going to happen, I'm going to introduce this orangey color to his skin. And now let's have a look at this node. This node is just showing us the key, just black and white grayscale image. We can manipulate this image in order to further fine-tune our selection. For example, I can reduce the intensity of only gamma, or for example, I can reduce the intensity of only the gain. This way I'm reducing the opaque values, the grayscale of our selection, which is not possible when you're making the selection like this. So I can make my highlights a little bit more darker, thus, or lighter. Yeah, lighter. Yeah, lighter or darker, thus making it more transparent. And this way, the highlight is not going to be affected that much by the key, but the midtones and the shadows are going to be affected as before. I can increase the contrast of the selection to make it appear more dramatic. No, not this note. Not this note. Yeah, I can increase the contrast of our selection to make it more dramatic. So by connecting the blue output to the green input, it allows us to fine-tune and to control our selection much better than before, than just by using these tools that are available by default. And also to control the key, we have a separate tab, and I'm going to show you how to use that. The tab is called key, obviously. We're going to reset everything. I'm going to show you the most popular method in which you're going to need to use the key tab. First of all, when you create a selection, for example, like a circle one, it is going to be displayed in here like a selection. And in case you want to select everything but this portion, you can actually go to the key tab and click this matte mask, and it's going to invert the selection. And for some reason it is not doing that, because sometimes DaVinci is just broken, but this is the button to invert your selection. Also, you can create an outside node by pressing Alt-O in order to create the selection which is opposite to the previous one, if you want to control the selection within the area that you have created and to control separately the area outside of that selection. Now, the popular way how people typically use the key node is by doing this. We're going to LUTs, and we're going to grab a LUT that is going to give an over-the-top effect. For example, something like this, which is too much for my liking. I can always go to the key tab, and I can always reduce the gain of this node. This key output is going to reduce the effect, to make it more transparent, to reduce the effect of the node. So I can fine-tune the amount of effect that I want to have within my image by controlling the key output gain of the key tab. I can also invert it. Here it's working, here it is not. These were the examples, only a couple of examples, what you can do with key outputs and inputs of your tabs and using the key tab itself. Experiment, and you can get a pretty interesting looking image by preserving the skin tones and by altering the rest. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.